It's almost game time. Game number 5, day number 1 of the Lighthouse Classic, presented by Physicians Urgent Care. Live from Corinth High School in beautiful Corinth, Mississippi. Game number 5 should be a titanic matchup of two state powers. Callaway out of Mississippi, the Chargers, versus East High School out of Memphis, Tennessee. East has won the last 3 state championships in their classification, 3A, the largest classification in the state of Tennessee. And East High School has the number 1 prospect in the class of 2019, who just committed to the University of Memphis, James Wiseman, projected to be the number 1 pick in the 2020 NBA draft. We are about a minute away from game time. Callaway Chargers, the home team, in white, and the East High Mustangs, the challengers, in black. So in about 45 seconds or so, we'll go to public announce for the starting assignments.
The thing about basketball I love is winning. Pretty much, it's my favorite thing. I hate to lose. And second thing I love is just getting better at the game. You know, it's a real fun game to play, and getting better is just a great thing to see. Like progress for me is just always great to see.
This game of basketball, I love the competitiveness of it, and the challenge I get from it, and I take it real serious because I love the game itself. I don't disrespect it. I respect it a lot, and I work hard at it.
I love basketball because I just been around it all my life. All my parents played it, and I just inherited the love and passion for the game. The one thing I would say is the atmosphere, like, and the competitiveness. Like, you can sense that out as soon as you walk in the gym. I just love that type of atmosphere.
I just love basketball ever since I was a kid. My dad played it, and I'm trying to get it from my mom. One thing that inspired me is my family, my city. I do it for them.
The reason why I love basketball is because I'm a very competitive person. You know, that's why I store all my energy. When I'm on the court, I'm at peace. You know, and to be honest, I mean, I don't know. I'm just a really competitive person, and I think basketball is where I can put everything at. It's the place where I can put all of my energy and my anger. I mean, I wasn't really fortunate, you know, and you know, basketball is where all my abilities and my talents fall into place, and I just feel like that's what keeps me going. You know, that's what I work on. That's my craft, and that's it.
The grind session is a great circuit. Kind of reminds.
All right, it is almost game time, and this is such a monumental clash. Such a monumental clash here of a couple of state powers that border one another. I'm going to be joined in the broadcast booth by my good friend, Skylar Witt. And Skylar, this is going to be, it promises to be, at least on paper, a titanic matchup between two tremendous programs in adjoining states.
Yeah, definitely excited about this one. Of course, everybody's here to see Mr. James Wiseman, but Callaway, a very stacked team themselves, so should be a great battle.
Wiseman, of course, has now committed to the University of Memphis. Quick thoughts on how big that is for that program?
Well, definitely huge. Hard for me to talk about as a Kentucky basketball fan, but, you know, Memphis definitely turning things around with Penny Hardaway coming out there. You know, Miller as well, great NBA experience. So everybody that's going to Memphis right now is getting prepared for the next level. He's putting together a great program. They're going to be tough next year.
No question. So starting lineup for East High, number 0, Darian Merriweather, number 1, Antonio Thomas, number 3, Nautica Harwell, number 32, James Wiseman, they call him the big ticket, and number 35, Big Malcolm Dandridge in the middle. And we'll turn you to public announce for Callaway. So in case you couldn't hear public announce clearly, starters for Callaway are 0, Kawandrick Samuel, 12, Jonathan Crumley, 15, Shadrick Bolden, 24, Deshaun Ruffin, and 35, LaCorey Young. Head coach for Callaway, David Sanders, and for East, Javante Holmes.
So a packed house here at Corinth High School. Looking around, I don't know if I see an empty seat unless
Standing
they're
room
behind
only.
a camera.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the baselines are filled. College coaches all over in attendance as we're under a tip here. And, of course, Wiseman gets it.
He's picked up by his front court mate, Malcolm Dandridge. When you go 7'6'9" on your front court, I don't care if you're in college, that's pretty intimidating, much less for on the high school level. Darian Matthews, short jumper, no good, rebound down. to number 15, Shadrick Bolden. Nautica Harwell, number 3, on the ball. The new addition to the starting lineup for East. He can't stop that. Trey ball is good. Deshaun Ruffin for 3 for Callaway.
Now, I like the play call there. He had a screen on whichever side he wanted.
Exactly.
And if he shoots like that all game, it's going to be a problem for East as they match themselves.
Antonio Thomas, he's not known for knocking down that three-pointer, Skylar, but he knocked that one down. They will give him that shot all evening long and dare Antonio Thomas to consistently make it.
Callaway runs that same double screen. It's set up an open 3, but we're going to get a block call, it looks like.
It's on Antonio Thomas, his first team first. East High School cannot afford to lose their senior leadership. Antonio Thomas committed to Bradley Braves. He'll be in the Atlantic 10 next year.
So now East ball.
Turnover, Callaway. And obviously, East wants to pound it inside to Dandridge and or James Wiseman. I would just run some high-low with those two, see what happens. Wiseman misses from 3, smooth lefty. Rebound down to Shadrick Bolden, stolen. Nautica Harwell with the steal and a tough bump at the end.
Yeah, Ruffin there went high for the block, waiting for it. Of course, he gets the foul,
Call
but
for the foul. His first team first.
impressive on the hops nonetheless.
Oh, and they said basket good. I did not see the basket go in.
I was watching him fall.
I was too. He took a hard spill. But Nautica Harwell with the basket, looking for the old-fashioned three-point play. And he makes it. 6-3, East High School. And you'll have to give us just a minute. Folks, we're still getting the rosters correct. They were a mess, unfortunately. We've got most of it correct. We've got East correct. And now we got to make sure we've got Callaway. Callaway shoots an air ball, then they knock the loose ball out of bounds. East High possession. Thomas driving kick. Darian Merriweather. That's what he does, folks. He shoots the 3. Malcolm Dandridge with quick hands gets that long rebound.
Wide
Harwell.
open.
No good. Dandridge with another offensive rebound. And I know that he is overshadowed by James Big Ticket Wiseman, but Malcolm Dandridge is probably the best rebounder on this basketball team for East High School. Deshaun Ruffin over to Kawandrick Samuel. He's asking for a screen, not going to get it. Darian Merriweather called for a reach-in foul. His first, team second. They're calling for horns. It's going to be a double screen up top of some sort. Kawandrick Samuel being guarded one-on-one by Darian Merriweather. Trey ball up and good. Tayshawn Ruffin with his second three-pointer. Wiseman foul, pushing the back.
And you can tell he is eager to get that ball inside.
And for good reason. He's so long, so athletic. That's a two ball good by Nautica Harwell. Harwell with 5 early points for East High. If Harwell is scoring, that's going to create problems for Callaway, because what do you do with Dandridge and Wiseman? Antonio Thomas, finger roll is good. It's 10-6 East High School. James Wiseman has 0. Malcolm Dandridge has 0. Antonio Thomas and Nautica Harwell with 5 points each. And Skylar, anytime you've got 2 high-powered talents like that, both of them going to Memphis, and they're scoreless, but you're still leading the game 10-6. You got to feel pretty good if you're Javonte Holmes.
Yeah, they're the type of players that sometimes what they're doing for your team isn't always going to show up on a stat sheet.
Right.
Not unless you got, some very expertise statisticians in-house that are keeping up with defensive efficiency and things like that, which you'll definitely
Blocked
see at
by
Memphis.
Dandridge, no question. Entering the game for Callaway, number 1, Kevion Hunt, replacing number 15, Shadrick Bolden. Try no good. Jonathan Crumley, rebound. Malcolm Dandridge, his 3rd of the contest already. Big ticket, no good. Crumley with the rebound. Wiseman wanted a foul. There was contact. Out of bounds, right in front of the East High School bench, which looks like a good call.
It was off the foot of East there.
3:59 left in the first quarter. Memphis East 10, Callaway 6. Tray ball, no good. Dandridge with his 4th carom. And he's going to go ahead and bring it up to Antonio Thomas. In the corner to, that was Nautica Harwell. Dandridge with his 5th rebound and his 1st basket.
Not much you can do about that there. He went back up like a grown man with that one.
Dandridge is so massive. 6'9", he's probably about 2 1/4. Strong as an ox. Basket good. Kevion Hunt. 12-8 East. And this game right now is shaping up to be exactly what we thought it would be. Merriweather cannot find the range. Long rebound out to LaCorey Young. Kawandrick Samuel thought about shooting that. Wiseman left his feet, almost fouled. He gets the rebound. Wow, what an athletic play by Deshaun Ruffin. Then he throws it away. Should have taken a shot.
He's impressed us a few times already with.
And another
great
impressive
shots.
steal.
And
Whoa, Deshaun Ruffin with 8 early points, keeping Callaway in this contest. This is an exciting young point guard.
Only a 2-point game as well. We're definitely getting our money's worth on this one.
And you want to know the best part, Skylar?
What's that?
Deshaun Ruffin is a sophomore.
Woo.
Dandridge with the long air ball.
I thought he might have been passing on that one.
Don't know who he was passing to. Wiseman was in the high post. Now Dandridge showing off his fast hands. And Callaway calls time. Very smart timeout. You're trapped by 2 players and your own inline. The coaching staff was crying out. Coach David Sanders was screaming for a timeout before they finally heard him. It is loud in here, so they're going to have to do everything they can to get the referee's attention on timeouts. So it's East High 12, Callaway 10 in the early going. Any surprises to you, Skylar?
Yeah, the athleticism of Callaway right out of the gates. It's Ruffin. It's hard not to pay attention to what he's doing. He's doing it on both ends. Impressive to watch. I mean, this is going to be one of those games that comes down to a last possession.
And we can see why Callaway is a powerhouse in Mississippi. They're not the biggest team in the world, but they are extremely athletic, they are tough, and they are fast all over the floor.
And lucky for us, we're going to see them on a few stops for the grind session this season. So I look forward to seeing their future matchups. See, one of which will be in a couple weekends in Memphis, so that should be a good one as well.
Memphis versus the World, shameless plug, 2 weekends from now, Briarcrest High School. So mark your calendars. Come to the Bluff City for some great, great basketball action. And there's Ruffin, the sophomore guard.
Smart choice there to not get blocked.
No good. Jadarius Jacobs, number 5, is in now for Memphis East. He defended Ruffin very well on that possession. Antonio Thomas into the paint. Drops it off to Dandridge, and it's good. Dandridge wanted to jam it. He got fouled. The ball went in anyway.
I'm not sure how that one went in, but he'll take it.
Yes, he will. I'm not sure how it went in either. Shadrick Bolden with his first foul, team's third. And Dandridge with a spectacular scoop shot that went in. Into the game for Memphis East, number 23, Kylan Haywood. Dandridge, free throw is long. Kawandrick Samuel skies for that rebound. Sean Ruffin being guarded now by Tadarius Jacobs. Stray ball long. Weak side rebound, Kawandrick Samuel. And he is fouled by Big Malcolm Dandridge. His first, team third. Dandridge and Wiseman have to be careful, Skylar, because there's nobody like them on that East High roster. They've got to keep out of foul trouble.
So it looks like we're taking a break here for James Wiseman.
With a minute and a half to go in the first quarter. Give him the last minute and a half off. You get 2 minutes. So he ends up with 3.5 minutes of blow. I guarantee he'll be back to start the second quarter.
And they're going to do the same thing for Callaway here as Ruffin also takes a break.
Offensive
and a
rebound. Jonathan Crumley swatted by Malcolm Dandridge. That's his second block. Tray ball no good. Oh, silly foul. Silly foul on Jonathan Crumley. Over the back foul. He was being blocked out by a guard. And, well, Wiseman is already back in. Wiseman back in for Memphis East. Isaiah Cathy checks in for Memphis East for the first time.
Looks like this year it's a huge size mismatch as Callaway, closest guy, 6-7 inches shorter, it looks like. But that was going to be last touch by Callaway.
Wiseman somehow got to it, but he wasn't able to maintain possession. He swats it in, and Callaway picks it up. On the drive, we've got a foul. Foul called on Isaiah Cathy. That is his first, team fourth. Larry Holmes goes to the free throw line for Callaway. He makes his first. Longtime boxing fans recognize that name. The Eastern Assassin, Larry Holmes, Boxing Hall of Famer. Second rebound, second free throw, no good. Rebound down to the big ticket, James Wiseman, who is surprisingly enough scoreless so far in this contest. They're triple teaming Wiseman down low.
Just on the block out.
LaCorey Young with the rebound. But with Dandridge out of the game, what else are you going to do? I'd triple team him too.
So number 35 there for Callaway getting a
LaCorey
call
Young.
for a foul on the pick.
And that's something they can well, yes, that's right. There we go. That's team fifth foul.
Should be his second, I believe.
It is, no, it is his first. It's his first.
So East going to take the last shot. We'll see what they draw up.
Wiseman for three, and it's good. James Wiseman with a three-pointer from the right wing just moments before the buzzer to end the first quarter. We will head to the second quarter to score East High 16, Callaway 12. There's going to be a lot of people out there, Skylar, who are surprised at how close that score is after one quarter, but quite frankly, I'm not. That's pretty much what I expected. I don't believe this is going to be a blowout game.
When you face two really good teams against each other, they're not just great offenses, they're great defenses as well.
Yes.
So when you see a high-scoring game, they're not having a great night. And you love to see a good it's like baseball. You want to see a little bit of a pitcher's duel as well.
Right.
There's more to this game than just offense. So to end that one, you're seeing why James Wiseman refers to himself as a unicorn there, a 7-footer that can shoot a three. As smooth as that shot was, too.
I don't know how much of a unicorn he is. There's this guy named Durant he reminds me of.
Similar, yeah, similar.
Their games really are remarkably similar. Wiseman actually blocks a few more shots on the defensive end than Durant, but otherwise they are very similar. Both high rebounders, both can shoot the three, but also work in the post. There's little wonder why James Wiseman is projected as the number one choice in the 2020 NBA draft, Scott. Callaway in the white, we're going to call them rainbow uniforms. I can't even tell you what they're trimmed in. It's like orange, red, and 2 different shades of blue. So Callaway in the white with the rainbow trim. East High School in the intimidating black with the subtle hints of burgundy and white. Chadrick Bolden to Kawandrick Samuel. Tray ball in the corner from LaCorey Young, no good. Malcolm Dandridge back in the game, no good on the layup, but big ticket James Wiseman there to clean up the mess. Rebound and tip dunk.
Not much you can do about that if you're Callaway.
Not much at all.
And nobody really there at all, size level.
Dandridge with his 3rd swat of the game. Wiseman with a beautiful pass. Nautica Harwell with the layup. And Memphis East trying to creep away. 7:08 left in the first half. We're in the second quarter now. 21-12. It looks like there was a correction on the board. I have to count my points, Skylar, and make sure. But apparently it was 17-12 at the end
Correct.
of the first quarter.
Wiseman with that 3 there at the end extended the lead. So Callaway's going to take a 30-second timeout here after a few great plays by East on both ends. Of course, the putback dunk by Wiseman, big block by Dandridge that led to a Wiseman assist on an easy layup. So Coach Sanders can't let that momentum carry too far. Down by 9, you can't afford to get down on this East team.
No, they have way too much firepower to try to climb out of a deep hole. 21-12, that's a 3-possession game. 3 stops and 3 threes to tie this thing up. I wouldn't want to get too much further behind than that.
So East now with the full court pressure, not going to let off at all on this Callaway team.
Just want to speed them up. I don't think they're really looking for turnovers in the backcourt with that. Make them a little uncomfortable. Don't want them to walk it up. Ruffin dribbles through the entire team and lays it up. Deshaun Ruffin with 10. The big ticket, no good. And a foul on the rebound against number 4, Isaiah Cathy.
I'm not sure that I fully agree with that one. I think he got to the side. But it's such a physical game, some of those calls are just going to happen on both sides.
Yes. I'm with you, Skylar. I didn't see a foul there, but can't argue with the refs. That's what they're paid to do. Tray ball, no good. Wiseman over the rim for that rebound.
A couple of times in warm-ups, you could tell Wiseman has to dodge that rim every once in a while when he goes up.
Yes, he does. He gets off the floor quickly and explosively. Great block out there by Jonathan Crumley to keep Wiseman from the boards. Oh, Wiseman with the swat.
I thought there might have been an offensive foul there with a little shove, but they're going to let him play, it looks like. Big block there as well.
Nautica Harwell almost saved that rebound. As it is Callaway basketball. Kawandrick Samuel backs in, scores over to Darius Jacobs. 21-16. Callaway has scored the last 4 points of this game to get back into the contest. It was starting to feel like things were getting out of hand. Coach Davis Sanders with a smart timeout. The big ticket, James Wiseman for three.
Even if you try to guard that shot, with his length, there's not anything you can do about it.
Not a thing. There are pros who can do nothing with that. Oh, my goodness. Deshaun Ruffin is quickly becoming my favorite player in the world. He's got 13 first-half points, and he is single-handedly keeping Callaway in this game, Skylar. 13 of their 19 points for the sophomore point guard, Deshaun Ruffin.
And a couple of those were going directly at James Wiseman, not afraid of anything on the court.
Ladies and gentlemen, remember the name Deshaun Wiseman.
Ruffin.
What did I say?
Wiseman.
Oh, Deshaun Ruffin. Remember that name. This kid is just a sophomore. He's got a bright, bright future ahead of him. Wiseman, the big ticket on the free throw line, and he misses the first. If there is something to nitpick about James Wiseman's game, Skylar, I have watched him over the last couple of years. He's not the most consistent free throw shooter. He can make them in bunches, but he's not as consistent as you would like him to be. But again, that's a nitpick, folks. There's a reason he's projected to be the number one pick in the 2020 draft. But I got to find something negative to say.
Free throws are definitely something you can work on.
Absolutely. His form is great. Trey ball on the way, no good. Dandridge, that's rebound number 6 for Big Malcolm by my count.
The double team down on Wiseman.
Antonio Thomas for 3, no good. Rebound, Shadrick Bolden. Ruffin getting harassed in the backcourt. And Callaway has to burn another timeout because they had a difficulty getting out of the backcourt. And Skylar, you've got to wonder if that doesn't come back to haunt them late on in this game if it's still close. But sometimes you got to do what you can to get to the latter part of the game still close. Timeout Callaway, trailing by 6. It's a 2-possession game, 25-19 with 4 minutes and 17 seconds left to go. This is the Physicians Urgent Care Lighthouse Classic, live from Corinth High School in beautiful Corinth, Mississippi. This is game number 5 of the high school slate. Earlier today, we had 2 grind session games in the Lighthouse Prep Classic Challenge. And Skylar, this has the feel of a heavyweight bout. I think they're just going to keep throwing haymakers at each other all night. And they're just going to have to keep responding back and forth, back and forth. And right now it's Callaway's turn to respond. Down 6. Into the front court. Wandrick Samuel. Cross court to Shadrick Bolden. Kevion Hunt behind the back. Crossover. Got in the air, made a pass. Trey ball is good. Shadrick Bolden with his first basket.
You almost can't hear yourself think in the gym.
The Callaway fans are excited, and as well they should be. They are going against one of the best teams in the country, and they are giving as well as they're getting. Darian Merriweather, the bank is open on Friday night. Merriweather banks in a tray ball. 28-22.
Long 2 there.
He should have been more aware of his feet, Skylar. Could have taken a step back and gotten himself 3 points. Kevion Hunt with 4. The big ticket swiped out of there by Kevion Hunt.
Yeah, I looked right before he caught that pass. The defender had his arm fully wrapped around.
And I was expecting a whistle.
Yeah, it's something you see a lot of big guys. There's another 3 there for Callaway.
Kevion Hunt with 7 quick points off the bench.
A lot of big guys, with how strong they are, they don't get calls.
That's right.
Because they can handle so much more pressure than a standard player. Kind of a double-edged sword.
And even little guys. Tyler Harris, who's currently at the University of Memphis, last year was getting mugged on plays and not getting whistles with referees standing right there. So that's the downside sometimes of being a highly rated prospect. You just don't get calls because people don't think you need them. Tray ball, no good. Nautica Harwell. Callaway looking for their first lead, and they got it. Kevion Hunt with the breakaway. And Skyler, I feel a little prophetic. I said it was Callaway's turn to throw a punch. That punch turned out to be a 7-0 run. Now East has to call timeout to collect themselves, and now they've got a punch back with 2:15 left in the first half. Callaway climbs all the way back from 9 points down, and they have their first lead of the contest, 29-28. What do you think about that?
It almost leaves you speechless.
It
You know,
does.
this is, you come into it, you think Memphis East has the advantage, which not to say they don't, but Callaway's coming out here and doing everything the right way they need to, not knocking down every shot, but hustling 110% of the time, and those hustle points definitely pay in the long run.
If I'm Memphis East, I'm going to run a possession, and I'm not going to take any shots until it goes in the post first. Dandridge and or Wiseman have got to touch this basketball first, cause that defense to collapse and react to them, then kick it back out and see what they've got.
And they definitely got to make it a lot more obvious to the refs on what's happening to Wiseman. You know, stick to that side, let him do some work to show he's getting just absolutely destroyed in the paint.
So Wiseman is taking a breather. Dandridge on the floor. Swatted away. Deshaun Ruffin. But Kevion Hunt steps out of bounds with the ball. Possession to East. And there we go, right on cue. They call that on LaCorey Young, his second. He was mauling Malcolm Dandridge. And Dandridge, I'm not going to say he deserves an Emmy for that, but he did play it up a little bit to make sure the ref saw, hey, look, ref, I'm getting grabbed over here.
If you're getting mauled all game, eventually you're going to get tired of it and do something to help remind the ref it's going on.
That's the 7th team foul on Callaway. Dandridge to the line, shooting 1-1. Dandridge makes the first. Dandridge has such a great touch for someone who's 6'9", 2.25. Second one, a little short. Dandridge just might have the best hands on that East High School team. Tray ball up. No good. Rebound, Kylan Haywood. There's Dandridge in the post and moved his pivot foot. 29-29, 1 minute, 23 seconds left to go here in the first half. Callaway basketball. And the big ticket is now back in. So for the last 123, East will go big. They've got Dandridge. They've got Wiseman. And in fact, it looks like they're back to their starting lineup on the floor, except Darius Jacobs is in instead of Darian Merriweather. Jacobs, number 5, on Kevion Hunt as he comes across the timeline. Into the low block. Good move by Kawandrick Samuel. He is fouled by Antonio Thomas. That's Antonio's second, team 6th. Samuel was in the act of shooting. He'll get 2 free throws. And he just missed the first one. (29-29) is our score. 1:09 left in the first half. Samuel makes his second. And Callaway once again has a 1-point lead, 30-29. Big ticket. Tray ball no good. Wiseman bats that, Dandridge bats that ball out of bounds. It will belong to Callaway. 58 seconds left in the first half. If you're a basketball fan, you've got to be loving this action. Both these teams are leaving it all out on the floor. They play hard, they play smart. Kawandrick Samuel, no good. James Wiseman gets the rebound. Basket good. Nautica Harwell. Reverse layup. Harwell leads his team with 9 points. Wiseman swallows up Quandrick Samuel. He gets called for the foul. First foul on the big ticket. 7th foul on East. So Quandrick Samuel will go back to the free throw line and shoot 2 more. And he missed the first, just like he did last time. Trailing by 1, 30-31. Callaway, 1 more free throw coming for Quandrick Samuel. And he makes the second, splits those 2. So Quandrick Samuel is 3 for 6 from the free throw line. He's gone 1 for 2 3 different times. Antonio Thomas over the timeline. 22 seconds left, and it looks like East is satisfied with holding for 1 final shot. Skylar, you like that strategy with 20 seconds or more, holding for 1 last shot when you got all the kind of weapons that East has?
I do. In this situation, it's a tie ball game. You have the opportunity to go in with a lead, where if you shoot too soon, like right now, there's a chance, they could have had that lead. So now at least we're back to 0. 31-31 at half. Hard fought on both ends. Of course, both coaches are going to go in. They know what they need to do to go forward. We'll see what they can do to execute.
Basketball is a game of runs, and Callaway had a nice extended run there late in the second quarter. Then they're just kind of going back and forth. The next run, you kind of get the feeling might win this game. Whoever takes control of the game in the third quarter will put themselves in the position of being able to take the dub. But it's halftime, and our score is 31-31. Callaway and East tied up in a haymaker of a matchup. So we'll take a quick break as our halftime entertainment is coming out, and we'll give you your halftime stats in just a moment.
The thing about basketball I love is winning. Pretty much, it's my favorite thing. I hate to lose. And second thing I love is just getting better at the game. It's a real fun game to play, and getting better is just a great thing to see. Like progress for me is just always great to see.
This game of basketball, I love the competitiveness of it, and the challenge I get from it, and I take it real serious because I love the game itself. I don't disrespect it. I respect it a lot, and I work hard at it.
I love basketball because I just been around it all my life. All my parents played it, and I just inherited the love and passion for the game. The one thing I would say is the atmosphere, and the competitiveness. You can sense that out as soon as you walk in the gym. I just love that type of atmosphere.
I just love basketball ever since I was a kid. My dad played it, and I'm trying to get it from my mom. One thing that inspired me is my family, my city. I do it for them.
The reason why I love basketball is because I'm a very competitive person. That's why I store all my energy. When I'm on the court, I'm at peace. And to be honest, I don't know. I'm just a really competitive person, and I think basketball is where I can put everything at. It's the place where I can put all of my energy and my anger. I wasn't really fortunate, and basketball is where all my abilities and my talents fall into place, and I just feel like that's what keeps me going. That's what I work on. That's my craft, and that's it.
The grind session is a great circuit. Kind of reminds me a lot of AAU, playing against the best players, best talent, night in, night out. And it's something that I love to do because, playing against this type of talent, it only makes you better. I don't want to, come out here and just waste my time and play against some guys who can't play. If I'm going to play, I want to play against the best.
The grind session is a good experience, and it's a lot of competition, and it's a good way for me and my teammates to get noticed. I'm just really trying to show who the best player is, who the best team is, and I'm trying to show that I'm the best player. So,
grind session is probably one of the probably the best tournaments and to have the best events in the country. I mean, anytime you can have that much talent in one gym, going against each other every night and competitive is just remarkable. I mean, for one, it lets you know where your game stand at. You know, going against these top dudes every night, you just got to bring your A game. You know, you can't have no off day. You just got to go hard and just hold your ground every game.
The grind session has been a grind. You know, it's a great tournament. It's a great idea. Whoever thought of it, and it's been tough, but I like it because it really challenges me. And our team has been a little bit setback. We've been short on a few games because we have a few injuries. But that's the beauty of it, because none of it is easy. None of the games are easy at all. We've been playing against the top guys in the whole American country and Canada. They've been playing against everybody in the U.S. here, and it's been crazy.
Oh yeah, the grind session is pretty competitive, to be honest. The last couple of games I played in grind session has been pretty hard. I really had to play to my top game, and no rest, no breaks during the game. And I don't know, I just really like it. It's just really competitive. A lot of great players are in this tournament, and I just really enjoy playing with them, playing against them.
Welcome to the grind. This is the grind session.
They said tomorrow's game between Mountain Brook and Olive Branch is supposed to be dominant.
It's time for the second half. It is 31-31. Memphis East and Callaway are tied up. The Mustangs and the Chargers going toe-to-toe with one another. And Skyler, I thought one of the key stats of the first half, Callaway actually out-rebounded East 19-18.
And when you look at the matchup size-wise, that is the last thing you would have thought happened in that first half.
Absolutely. Wiseman actually tried to get a little cute, went behind the back, almost lost it out of bounds. And in fact, there will be a turnover because the arrow belongs to the Chargers of Callaway. Callaway with their first possession of the second half. Kevion Hunt, who came off the bench with 9, starts the second half for Callaway. He drives, kicks, stolen. Nautica Harwell. Harwell, yep, they got him. Harwell with the push off. For Harwell, that is his first. And that's the first team foul of the second half. Callaway with their second possession of the second half.
So the intensity right where we left it off.
Absolutely. Mid-range jump shot, no good. Jonathan Crumley comes a big ticket going coast to coast, and the layup is good with the left hand.
Some nice handles for the big man.
Yes, indeed. Kawandrick Samuel called for his first foul, team's first, but James Wiseman, and it's easy to belabor a point like this, Skylar, but you see why he is projected as the number 1 pick in the draft. He just went coast to coast, split a double team, put up a tough left-handed layup, gets fouled, makes the shot, and he makes the and one free throw. Gives his team a 3-point lead, 34-31. Extremely, extremely talented young man.
And guarding people quite a bit smaller, too, and keeping up on the
Staying
footwork.
right in front of him. East is actually in, it looks like a man-to-man, and Wiseman is guarding Kawandrick Samuel. Harwell, he gets Malcolm Dandridge, the big man. Finger roll, it's good, and he's fouled.
Foul on Ruffin, and right there, Ruffin should have known he was getting beat from size alone. That's one of those you can't get handsy there and
just let him have it.
Yeah, silly foul.
I know he didn't want to have a Showtime dunk, but it's more important to give up those 2 points and not have the foul right now if you're Deshaun Ruffin. That's his second foul. He's not in trouble yet, but you want him to have 0 fouls because you never know what will happen late.
Right. You can always use the body to cut off the lane without ever having to touch them.
So Wiseman with a 3-point play and Dandridge with a 3-point play. And all of a sudden, East is back up by 6, 37-31, 6 minutes, 24 seconds left here in the third quarter. Wandrick Samuel gets harassed into a turnover. That's Isaiah Cathy, who started the second half for East with some great defense. And so now East has a chance to get their largest lead of the game. Antonio Thomas, who transferred in from another city powerhouse, Ridgeway High School.
You get a foul down low. Number 35 for Callaway.
That actually was on that pass that Dandridge just made. I guess they called a foul on the pass. If you're LaCorey Young, that's not how you want to get your third foul of the contest. Contesting a pass 25 feet from the bucket. Just not a smart foul. Callaway has got to play as smart as they possibly can and limit silly fouls like that.
It looks like Coach Sanders just called that timeout because he wanted to talk about that foul.
Yes.
He believes his guys are getting held every play, and now he's getting called for it. But, you know, I think they're been pretty consistent with their calls. Maybe you don't agree with everyone, but consistency is all you can ask for, and it seems like it has been there. So,
and they are letting them play somewhat. And, of course, you and I were obscured our view of that pass. You know, Dandridge with that wide body, we really couldn't see what was done.
right.
It must have been pretty obvious if they called it. Because as you commented earlier, there have been a couple of times that they have literally bear hugged James Wiseman from behind down in the post, and there were no calls made. So I know Coach Sanders wants as many calls as he can get, but from where we sit, everything looks pretty even. .6:11 left in the third quarter. The East High Mustangs lead the Callaway Chargers 37-31. So, Skylar, right before halftime, I said it was East's turn to throw a punch. They have done so. The question will be, how will Callaway absorb the punch, and will they counter?
So the ref having a talk there with the double team and with Wiseman as there was contact before the ball ever came into play.
Dandridge with a brilliant pass. Isaiah Cathy unable to convert. And that foul's on Antonio Thomas for Memphis East. That is his third, team second. So you've got a couple of key performers for each team with 3 fouls. LaCorey Young down in the post for Callaway, and starting point guard Antonio Thomas for Memphis East.
And he'll come out of the game after that one. Number 0.
Darian Merriweather back in the contest. And imagine that. All the speed on the court for both sides of the ball. No one touched that basketball.
The middle of the paint.
Right in the middle of the paint. And East High School will take possession. Darian Merriweather, a good story. And a dunk. James Big Ticket Wiseman. He's got 5 in the second half, 14 for the contest. But back to number 0, Darian Merriweather. His uncle, Desmond Merriweather, was the coach who kicked off this run for East High School. Air ball by Callaway. Strong rebound by Malcolm Dandridge. And another dunk for James Wiseman. Assist, Malcolm Dandridge.
So I think the foul
should be on number 3, Nautica Harwell. Yes, it is.
I don't think he initiated that contact. I think he just came out on top. But I was going to make a comment before that. You notice when Dandridge gets the ball, the first thing he's looking to do is find his big man buddy.
There
Because
we
that
go.
went straight to the post.
Absolutely.
Big man got to look out for the big man.
And those two will be doing that a lot more at the University of Memphis next year anyway.
The chemistry of that team with so many former players with their former coach to hit the ground running.
Absolutely. Dandridge and Wiseman tried to choke that one off. It was the foul, and the foul was on Dandridge. That's his second. And team 4th. So, at the line, shooting 2, Kawandrick Samuel.
Well, he's looking to get the first points of the half here for Callaway. And we're over 3 minutes in.
And he breaks the 10-0 run with that free throw. So Callaway over the next 4:52 have got to aggressively counter that 10-point run by Memphis East. 41-32, the Mustangs in the lead. Darian Merriweather into the front court. You can't let him get hot. Once he makes one, he can be a problem. He made one late in the first half. Now Merriweather just makes his second 3. And that's what he does best.
A lot of contact there on that shot.
Dandridge with a beautiful pass up to Nautica Harwell. They find Merriweather. Oh, we missed that one. And the rebound down to Shadrick Bolden. 44-32. East up by 12. And we've got a foul. The call is against number 4, Isaiah Cathy, his third. And the 5th on Memphis East in the second half. Larry Holmes back into the game for Callaway, replacing Kevion Hunt. Tadarius Jacobs comes in, replacing Isaiah Cathy. There we go. Four minutes, 5 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. Callaway trailing by 12, 44-32. Tray ball on the way. It looks good. It's good. Shadrick Bolden. The lead is 9, 44-35. Callaway desperately needs some stops on the defensive end, Skylar. They want to get back in this game. Merriweather misses the three. Tadarius Jacobs with the rebound. James Wiseman with the rebound. Looks like he got fouled. That foul on Jonathan Crumley. That is his 4th. Crumley now has 4, and that's critical mass for Callaway. Team has 4. Lob in to Wiseman. Puts a shot up, no good. Merriweather gets the loose ball to Wiseman. He crashes the lane and is fouled. And that foul is called on number 4, Larry Holmes. That is his first, team 5th.
It's almost too much going on right now to keep up with. I've gone silent just trying to catch up.
What's going on right now is James Wiseman is putting his imprint on this basketball game. First free throw for the smooth lefty is good.
I think Callaway senses a little bit of pressure on their end, and Wiseman notices that. He's just attacking them, putting the pressure to them even more, because now they go up by 11.
Wiseman with 18, 9 in the first half, 9 in the third quarter. Floater, no good by Larry Holmes. Dandridge loses that rebound to number 15, Shadrick Bolden. Bolden trims the deficit to 9, 46-37. Darian Merriweather breaks the timeline for Memphis East. Over to Tadarius Jacobs, back to Merriweather. He thought about shooting the three, drives. He is fouled on the floor. That foul committed by Larry Holmes of Callaway. That is Larry's second, team 6th. And Merriweather there, Skylar, first instinct was to shoot. Realized he's playing the point right now with Antonio Thomas on the bench with 3 fouls. He drove, picked up a smart foul. Wiseman, free throw line jumper, no good. Rebound, Kawandrick Samuel. Samuel goes coast to coast, and it's blocked by the big ticket. Loose ball was picked up by Shadrick Bolden. Floater, no good, Callaway. Callaway continues to clean the glass. So Callaway, despite being outmatched in size, tenacious on the glass, and I would imagine they're still winning the rebound battle. There he goes, Deshaun Ruffin. He's been quiet early in the third quarter, but that is his 4th three-pointer of the game.
And he picks up
Ruffin,
a bad one.
That's a tough foul. That's his 3rd, team 7th. Memphis East now in the 1-1. Nautica Harwell will go to the free throw line. Boy, but how about the sophomore Deshaun Ruffin? That kid has ice water in his veins.
He's definitely been tough. He's been scrappy. He shoots. I mean, the potential in that kid is amazing.
You know, your team is down 10, and you've got the guts to take that shot and make it?
I mean, he was going right up in the middle of the paint with 2 guys almost 7 foot tall, not afraid to shoot it.
At all. Kawandrick Samuel, reverse layup, no good. Dandridge picks up the rebound. to Darian Merriweather, to Nautica Harwell, back to Merriweather. And the big ticket gets hacked. And if that's on Crumley, that's it. And it is on Crumley. That's his 5th. Jonathan Crumley out of the game. And we've still got 10 minutes left, 10:02 left. 2:02 here in the third quarter and 8 minutes in the fourth. But that's what happens when you're left to go down in the low block with the best prospect in the country in James Wiseman. You're going to pick up some fouls. James Wiseman shooting 2. Excuse me, this is a 1 and 1. No, yeah, this was 2. He was fouled on the shot. First free throw good for Wiseman. Wiseman now with 19 and counting. And Wiseman misses it. Dandridge with 2 offensive rebounds. Malcolm Dandridge was looking for a foul. Not going to get it. They are letting them play. The arrow belongs to East High School. So the Mustangs will retain possession. 1:56 left in the third. Inbound to Dandridge, over to Merriweather. He drives baseline, goes up, no good. Rebound, Kawandrick Samuel for Callaway. Deshaun Ruffin, he puts it up. That's a long 3, and it's an air ball. Skylar, that's called a heat check. I think he just wanted to see what's this going to go.
And the way he's been playing, I don't blame him for trying it.
Me neither. He's got 16. 13 in the first half. 1:30 left to go in the third quarter. Dandridge tries to connect with the big ticket. Wiseman was going right. The pass went left. Dandridge erases it. Oh, my goodness. His elbow was at the rim. Wow. Wiseman shot no good, but he's fouled on the attempt.
Going to give him for a charge, actually, against
Oh,
Wiseman.
they called the offensive foul. Skylar, that was a pretty close call. I'm not so sure I would have called that offensive. That's the second foul on Wiseman, the 6th on East. But can you believe that shot block on the other end by Malcolm Dandridge? His elbow was at the rim.
And if he didn't get it, Wiseman was right there waiting for it.
And his elbow was at the rim, too. Kevion Hunt. Oh, ho, ho. That's a grown man move in the paint over Wiseman. And so Callaway has absorbed the blow, Skylar. Now they're only down 6, 48-42, 44 seconds left in the third quarter. And it's stolen. Deshaun Ruffin. It's good. And Callaway is throwing a blow of their own. They're only down 4, 48-44. And Skylar, this is incredible. Our stats guru, Jesse Brewer, just pointed to the program. Kevion Hunt is a freshman.
It's unbelievable.
To go with my new favorite player in the world, Deshaun Ruffin, the sophomore. Ruffin at the buzzer, it's short.
That would have been the play of the day so far if that would have gone in.
Yes, it would have. So Callaway has absorbed the blow, and even though they're not tied, going down 4 points into the fourth quarter feels like a win for them, especially getting down as far as, I believe, 11, 12 during that quarter.
Yeah, 4 points. That's a huge comeback for them, and they've got all the momentum. Now, this is where you look for Wiseman to get heavily involved for East. He was making a lot of moves there. They missed that opportunity on the oop, but I definitely see him with number 12 there for Callaway being fouled out there.
Crumley out, yes.
They're going to take advantage. They're going to take advantage of that mismatch down low even more. It's been a mismatch the whole game. I'm surprised they haven't gone to it sooner. But I definitely look for Dandridge and Wiseman to be heavily a part of this fourth quarter.
They've got to be. because when you're nursing the lead, all you got to do is win by one. Of course, you want to run away, but I would be pounding the rock, taking as much time off the clock per possession, and making Callaway make some defensive stops.
Because even though Callaway's hitting these threes, the 2-pointers that Wiseman and Dandridge get wear you out as a defense.
Yes.
When they're bodying you that hard, it's hard to get that offensive help from the guys that are guarding them.
And the tallest player for Callaway right now is 6'4", LaCorey Young, and he himself, Skylar, has 3 fouls.
And I'm already seeing some hand action here from a few players on the way out, so some bad blood.
And the quarter
brewing.
hasn't even started yet.
This might be the best quarter of basketball we've seen today. As the freshman brings it up the court.
This is incredible. This is going to be a great backcourt for years to come. Kevion Hunt, the freshman, and Deshaun Ruffin, the sophomore. And, too many steps. Too many steps.
Yeah, if he had just kept on that spin, he'd have been fine, but that step back got him.
Rebounds now. Memphis East has surged to the lead, 31-28 on total rebounds.
But still, even then, with this size advantage, you'd think that'd be a huge deficit.
You would think.
Closer to, say, 38-28 or something along those lines.
And now it's 31-29. Callaway with that rebound. Mama, here comes that man again. Oh, my goodness. James Wiseman blocked that ball with his shoulder, which was nearly at the net. The athleticism of East High School is ridiculous. Antonio Thomas back into the game with 3 fouls. The lob! You know who it was, folks. I don't even have to tell you. That was James Wiseman.
And that play is going to be there the rest of the game.
It will. Wiseman with 21.
Physically, there's nothing they can do to stop that play.
Oh, beautiful work there by Kawandrick Samuel. He missed it. Malcolm Dandridge with the rebound. He brings it up over to Antonio Thomas. Layup no good. Dandridge would have gotten that, except his own teammate was under his legs. He's trying to keep from decapitating Antonio Thomas, so he couldn't quite snare that rebound, which will go to Callaway. Kevion Hunt into the front court, being guarded by Darian Merriweather. LaCorey Young being guarded by Malcolm Dandridge. Trey ball is good. Shadrick Bolden. Bolden now with 11. 50-47. Callaway has trimmed their deficit to 3. It's a 1-possession game. The big ticket all by himself. And a silly foul there by Kawandrick Samuel.
So Memphis' coach also been warned already for coming out too far on the court. With that warning, he's got to be careful. They can't afford to give up any points on the technical.
Technical would not be good right now. And free throw no good by Wiseman. Wiseman with 23 unofficially. Kevion Hunt throws it away. That's the kind of thing, Skylar, Callaway cannot do at this stage of this game.
You don't have to be perfect, but you can't make silly passes right there. If nothing else, hold the ball. You
Yes.
be a little smarter on it.
Good idea, just terrible execution. I saw the man who was flaring out, but he threw it a little bit too soon and a little bit too hard, and he just couldn't catch up to it.
So Wiseman, I feel like he needs to get back down to the block for that backdoor oop.
Absolutely. I don't know what he's doing at the high post. We've got a hand check. That was on Kawandrick Samuel, his 3rd, and that's Callaway's 10th. So for 5 minutes and 39 seconds, Skylar, Memphis East will be getting 2 free throws every time there's a foul.
And then on the other end, next foul puts Callaway in the bonus.
In the bonus. Merriweather makes the first. 5 minutes and 39 seconds is an eternity to be shooting a double bonus, Skylar. So yet another disadvantage for Callaway. And Merriweather misses the second, which further underscores they have to play smart basketball, error-free basketball for the last 5.5 minutes.
And definitely because Dandridge will be checking in at the next dead ball.
That's not going to be credited as a shot block, but Wiseman hit that ball and forced Kawandrick Samuel not to be able to touch it. Excuse me, Kevion Hunt. And we've got a foul on Darian Merriweather. That is his second, team 7th. So now in the bonus, Kawandrick Samuel shooting first free throw. And he missed it. Offensive rebound, LaCorey Young. LaCorey Young, no good. Malcolm Dandridge with the rebound. Leaking out is James Wiseman for the dunk.
Man, that was lightning fast.
Yes.
4 steps and he was down the court.
And that was Malcolm Dandridge playing, as you say, big man buddy ball. Free throw line jumper, no good. And this time it's Dandridge on the receiving end from Darian Merriweather.
If they're not careful, they might break the backboard at this point.
What a circus shot by Kawandrick Samuel right over James the Big Ticket Wiseman.
That was a lucky throw up there, but they will take it.
Yes, they'll take it, and they needed it, having absorbed another body punch from East. They were down 10, 57-47. Kawandrick Samuel makes it 57-49. 4 minutes, 32 seconds left to go in this contest. Plenty of time if you're Callaway. I think the key thing that Callaway has to remember right now is don't panic and don't try to make it in one play. You've just got to chip away like we've been doing.
That's right. They've been down by as much as 12, and it only took a couple minutes, I think, to get back into that. So you've got 4.5. That's plenty of time, but you got to get back to what you were doing. You were getting open threes.
Right.
You were knocking them down. You know, you got to put some pressure on the guards of Memphis East to make sure they don't get those easy passes to the big men.
Yes.
Because if Dandridge or Wiseman touch it, there's a good chance it's going in.
That's right. What an entertaining basketball game this has been. And the Callaway Chargers are one of the scrappiest teams I think we're going to see all year, regardless of level of competition, Skylar. They are not giving an inch to Memphis East.
I'm just happy we get to see this Callaway team against some more of our grind session teams.
Absolutely.
Nothing but battles.
4:32 to go. 57-49. The East High Mustangs lead the Callaway Chargers. This is day 1 of the Physicians Urgent Care Lighthouse Classic. What a pass from James Wiseman. That basket is good. Nautica Harwell.
And that's what he does. You have to worry about him so much. When he comes out, you can't plan for that easy backdoor.
Deshaun Ruffin misses that tray ball. And Wiseman skies above the rim for another rebound. Oh! James Wiseman.
My goodness.
Showing the explosion and the length on that dunk. Assist to Darian Merriweather. I wonder who the player of the game will be if East wins.
I feel bad for the rim in these past few minutes.
Wow.
That's one of those dunks I worry about his hand. I mean, he threw that thing down.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching an NBA pro in action. Long before he will be an NBA pro.
A couple years before it happens.
Yes.
I fully believe he could walk onto a pro court right now and make a difference.
And he would fit in just fine. Almost stolen by Dandridge of all people. And Dandridge just swiped the ball right out of Larry Holmes' hands. That's 6'9" Malcolm Dandridge, 25 feet away from the rim, just saying, hey, give me that, and taking the ball. Merriweather, no. Tipped by Wiseman, no good. And Ruffin gets stripped. Antonio Thomas with possession over to Merriweather. Nautica Hartwell drives baseline, no good. And the rebound to Shadrick Bolden. Harwell coming out of nowhere, knocking that ball out of bounds and stopping that fast break opportunity for Callaway. How about Malcolm Dandridge, Skylar? Guarding a guard on the switch and ripping him clean. Wow, that's unfair.
Yeah, he's making a case for MVP too, I think. You know, Wiseman, of course, overshadowed him just a little bit, but Dandridge sitting here saying, don't forget about me, look what I've done.
No question about that one. And he gets that rebound to pad his stats further. 61-49, 2:48 left to go.
Looks like he might be feeling a little pain there, Dandridge, because he had a little hobble to his step across half court.
Darian Merriweather. And you know, Dandridge injured his knee this summer, almost got another steal. And I'm not 100% that he's 100% just yet. Antonio Thomas picks up his 4th foul. Team 8th. Callaway will go to the line, shoot 1 and 1. But Skylar, looking at the body language and the facial expressions of the Callaway Chargers, I'm sensing some resignation.
They had 14 points with basically 2.5 to go. They've got the potential to put the points up. It's on the defensive end, stopping Wiseman, stopping Dandridge, stopping the electric guard play as of late. I mean, the guards from Memphis East have been making these backdoor layups like it's nothing.
Yes. 2:18 remaining in the contest. Memphis East in control by 14.
And no shot clock in this game. They don't have to be in a hurry at all.
They could dribble out the rest of the game if they wanted. Layup good. Nautica Harwell. Harwell with 14. Darian Merriweather called for his 3rd foul. So team 9th.
So Ruffin going to the line for the 1 and 1.
And Ruffin just missed the front end of a 1 and 1 moments ago. But I will say this. Between Deshaun Ruffin and Kevion Hunt, they have nothing to be ashamed of, and the future is very, very bright for Callaway. First free throw good by Ruffin. Ruffin with 19. Make it 20. Oh, no, it came out. And Dandridge.
Dandridge wanted that rebound.
Dandridge may end up the game the rebound leader. It was 13-10. He was on top of Wiseman heading into the 4th quarter. And I don't think Wiseman has out-rebounded him by 4 in this quarter. Harwell lobs it. Oh, the Superman dunk. James Wiseman.
My goodness. This crowd is going crazy.
And Wiseman just gave the it's over sign. Wow. You know, I honestly haven't seen Wiseman a whole lot of time. Oh, Deshaun Ruffin with
Did
the
he touch
block.
the top of the square on that one?
Oh, he was near the square. And then he gets the spectacular layup on the other end. Woo! I was just about to say that this is the best I've ever seen Wiseman play. And I wanted to preface that by saying it's not like I've seen him play 30 or 40 times. I've only seen him play a handful of times, but this is clearly the best I've ever seen him play.
So the lead grows to 17 after that one.
But my favorite player on the floor is Deshaun Ruffin. Dandridge with the block. And Coach Sanders wanted a foul call.
I understand you want it to be a fair game throughout the end, but it's over at this point. Let's get the game over with. There's more games to be played tonight. We got 2 more games.
That's right. And I really believe Coach Sanders wanted to take as far out on the court as he walked and is still walking. He 3, 2, 1, 0, and that's our ball game. Our final score, Memphis East 69, Callaway 52. And there's no question, James Wiseman is the player of the game. We'll go ahead and call that. That's not difficult to call.
Not at all.
I lost track of his points, somewhere around 23, so he's around 30 points. Easily had a double-double. Some of the most spectacular plays I've seen recently were turned in tonight by James Wiseman. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, he is projected to be the #1 choice in the 2020 NBA draft. He is special. Coming up, we will give you the post-game statistical recap. Then we'll get you prepared for our next contest. That will be Mountain Brook, Alabama versus Knoxville Bearden.